back, everybody. And now, the next chapter of the Stephen Colbert Lady Gaga interview. Which one is me and which one is her? Keep watching to find out. Your debut album, The Fame, came out in 2008.
Yeah.
It's hard to overstate what a splashy debut that was. Did you have any idea what you were getting yourself into at the ripe old age of 21?
No. No.
What was most shocking about it?
The music industry was like very, very challenging. And I don't mean just like the process of trying to get discovered. It was the system was very daunting. It felt really scary. But
and at this point,
tough.
You're already Lady Gaga. So you've had experiences that led you to create, as we said, this creative armor that empowered you.
That's right. So I was really tough. I mean, I white-knuckled my way through a very long period of my career. I just had my head down and I just worked and worked and worked all the time. And I just did what I had to do to have my music be heard by an audience. I would say that I sort of had this reckoning with myself that the real battle that I was going through was with me and not with being famous.
Who won?
I mean, I think ultimately I'm okay. I'm doing good now, but fame was like a huge challenge for me. But I think also the duality of being Stephanie and being Lady Gaga was the bigger challenge, and like figuring out how to integrate those two things, like psychologically for me was, that was like my big forever work.
You're currently on tour in support of your latest album, Mayhem. In May, you even broke a record for the highest attended concert in Rio by a female artist, and the top 5 most attended concerts of all time with 2.5 million people. What changes or doesn't change about a show of this size versus when you play places like the Bitter End? Like, what did you learn here that's applicable to 2.5 million people?
When you open your mouth to sing a song, it is your job to reach right into the heart of the audience. Whether there is 20 people that you begged to come so that you could play at the Bitter End, or if it's millions of people, my job is the same. And I've always known that, I think. That's always why I wanted to make music, was to, I think, to connect to people. And what a special moment that was. Never could have prepared myself for that feeling. But I'll tell you something, I remember being just as nervous for the performance in Brazil as I was the first time I sat at that piano. And I used to just, you know, I was not a performer that usually sang flat. If I was off, I was sharp because I was so anxious. Mm-hmm. I mean, the minute I got on stage and I saw all those people, I was like I thought I was going to pass out. I was overcome.
I interviewed Bruce Springsteen about his biography, which is very beautiful. And one of the things he talks about, and we talked about on the show, was what he calls the magic trick. And that there's a magic trick that happens with the audience. And there's a moment of transcendent connection. And he goes, it can happen at various parts of any concert, but it's a successful moment for him. And that's his goal. Do the songs, yes, but the trick, the magic trick is the goal.
Yes.
Do you have a similar moment of feeling where you know, okay, I am performing for 2.5 million people, but I know that I can reach out and touch the shoulder of the person in the last row?
Yes, I think that I'm always striving for that moment. And you know, it's funny you bring up Bruce, because I think Bruce, in a way, like taught me about that moment from his music and from my father. Because listening to Bruce, especially his live recordings, you know, he had this way of putting himself and you just so close together. I felt like I knew him. I remember the first time I met him, I couldn't believe he came to my show. And I was so overcome with emotion because I felt like I knew him. And I felt like he had narrated my childhood, my life. I felt like I understood my father because of Bruce's music, because my dad grew up in Jersey. That magic trick that he's talking about, I think what he's trying to say is like, we've all got this like goal of the soul when we're on stage, and it's to touch somebody, and hopefully move them in whatever way they need. You know, it's not for me to decide what somebody in the audience needs from me. It's just, I think, for me to try to offer it.
When we come back, Lady Gaga talks about her recent engagement.